like as the host before?
Well, guess what? We're live,
What?
everybody. We're live. I didn't even
What?
let you. I didn't even let you finish what you were saying.
You son of a!
I thought there'd be a countdown, but there wasn't.
He could have said anything.
But we're live, and I have a question for you, boys. What is your desert island food and video game? Let's say you were stuck on a desert island and you can only have one food. There was a chef there and said, I only know how to cook one thing, and it's whatever you tell me, and that's it. And then
He's
there's also
Italian.
there's also a TV. I only know what food to make. There's a TV and an outlet and a console that will play any video game. It's a Magic Island. And a controller that works with that video game. So, Desert Island food, Desert Island video game. Vactor, what is it?
Which one? The food or the video game?
Either one.
The food, as you know, is the greatest food in the history of mankind.
Hold on, should I write it down before you even say anything?
Write it
I don't have a
down
piece of
and
paper.
show everyone.
Hold on,
Paper.
write this down.
Put it on your iPad. Jeff knows it's the greatest food in the history of humankind.
Okay, I wrote it down.
The greatest invention
He better not
Is the-
say it.
is the Mexican pizza from Taco
Oh.
Bell. Yeah!
I found a card.
That's the
Dad.
food. That's
Mexican
the food that I could eat. I could never get tired of a Taco Bell Mexican pizza. Remember when they took it away for 2 years for no reason at all? No reason. And then all of a sudden, yeah, I'm bringing it back, guys. No reason to take it away. But I was so happy when they brought it back. I got 2 the day that it came back. And then I was, for a while, I was getting 2 a day after that because I was like, I don't know when they're going to take it away.
Jesus. man.
So I had to have that Mexican pizza. It's been a staple in the Vactor diet since I was in 3rd grade. That was as far back as I can remember. 3rd grade was when I had it.
Did you have it in Japan?
No. Now, here's a story.
He's
So
like, I
when they
brought this
finally
to the island too, along with those.
when they brought Taco Bell to Japan
Uh-huh.
in the Air Force base, because they had it off base. But when they brought it to the Air Force base, they didn't have the fryer to cook the Mexican pizza. So they called it a
Oh.
Taco Bell Express. And it was like a big deal. Hey, we're getting Taco Bell. We're going to have Taco Bell, guys. And I was like, yes, Mexican pizzas. And then when they opened it up, yeah, we only got burritos and tacos. That's it. Nothing
Ooh.
else.
Did
I
they even
was-
have fire sauce?
No, this was before fire sauce was invented.
What?
That shows you how long I
Prehistoric
taught.
And did it taste like Taco Bell, or was it like a microwave Taco Bell? You know, what I
No,
mean?
it was the same. They shipped the ingredients over, like whatever the spices are that they use to
Right.
make it taste like Taco Bell. So it was fine. The tacos tasted like Taco Bell, but not having Mexican pizza, I rarely went to Taco Bell.
Fair
Oh, that
enough.
sucks for you.
What's the game?
I was
What's
over,
the game?
I was over here. Oh yeah, what's the game? You got to give us the game too.
The Desert Island game that I could play nonstop and never get tired of it. See, is there multiplayer on this island, or is it just me solo?
You're the only one on the
changes
island and the
equation.
cook.
If I'm the only one,
I guess you could get the cook to come play with you.
1v1 me.
because I was gonna say if it was multiplayer, then it would have to be something like GoldenEye or NWO versus WCW or WWE No Mercy or WWF back then. One of those games where you could just play
Def Jam
4-player
Vendetta.
co-op. Oh, that was good too. But if we're going solo, then it's probably gonna be the first Spider-Man on PlayStation 4. Marvel's Spider-Man by Insomniac. One of the greatest games ever created.
That game's slow now, man. You need that. No, you need 2. You
No,
play
he
the
likes
same
number
game,
one. He likes going number
but
one.
faster.
All right.
Just saying.
Good answer. Good answer. What about you, Jeff? What would you pick?
Since we're going, like, I thought we were gonna have to say like pizza, like something generic.
It could be
But
any food, Jeff.
I think you boys know what my food is. One of my
Oh, let me write it down.
favorite I don't know if I should even
I
give it away.
already know. I already
Okay.
know.
Okay.
I'm writing it
It
down.
starts with a. Oh wait, is it a dish or is it a restaurant?
We're gonna go with the restaurant.
Okay, I know what it is.
That gives
Okay.
it away. That gives it away easily.
Okay.
All right.
What's the
So if I had to choose, we going with YC's Mongolian Grill. Just give me a bowl from there. You got plenty
Okay.
of options.
But which one you pick is that's going to be the only ingredients available on the
You
island.
could never change it again.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Give me some YC's own, some sauce on there. You know, we'll be good. And then if I had to take a game,
Hold
you know,
on,
I'm surprised.
I got to show you that I wrote it down.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
right.
what did he write? Poop. Kick Rob out of the stream. Kick him out. Poop. Jeez. You know, I'm surprised Vactor said, you know, GoldenEye over like, I don't know, Halo 2 would be a good one. But for me, it would be probably Skate 3, fellas. That is a mindless game to me that I can forever play. And you're kind of in a sandboxy world where you have all kinds of options.
No
It's going
relation.
to take a long time to get bored of that game, you know, for me personally. So that would be my video game.
All right. If it were me and I had to pick a food, it's gonna be awfully personal. I'd pick my mom's beef stroganoff. It's my favorite thing she makes. My favorite meal of all time. But if that
You
wasn't
wanted
an
to bring
option,
her as the chef.
yeah, my mom's
I
the
see the
chef.
move. I see the move. I see your move.
Yeah. Mom, go to your side of the island. Come back when you're making me my beef stroganoff, Mom. Oh, I'd be nice.
It's
I'd
like
be
Lost.
I'd be eventually I'd be the size of a boulder and I'd roll down the hill into the ocean and sink to the
Right.
bottom. But if
Like
I
that
had
kid
to
in Hook.
pick a game, you know what I would pick? I think I would go Red Dead Redemption 2. Because it's a big open world. There's lots of exploring, lots of missions, lots of secrets. And I could take breaks and then I could go back to it. So I think I would pick Red Dead Redemption, the greatest video game of all time. That's right. That's right, boys. Excellent question. That question was brought to you by Vactor. So good job, Vactor.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. I can't remember when I came up with it, but I was like, this would be a good. Oh, you know what it was? So I was at work and they were asking about the Mexican pizza. Like they were asking desert island foods. And then that's what I was like, let's get the sandboxers' opinions here.
He already knew. He had his answer ahead of time. Can you believe this guy?
Well, because everyone at work was, well, that would be number 2. And then lasagna. Olive Garden lasagna would be number 3. Number 2 would be cereal.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to level 89 of the Sandbox Gamers podcast, a podcast where 3 idiots meet weekly to talk about life, love, and the pursuit of vidya. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your co-host with the most, Wonder Rob, coming at you live, well, semi-live from Southern California, but live on YouTube Live. And on the line with me are 2 of my best Arizona friends in the metaverse. The King Shark of our podcast, Vactor.
And look, I'm reading a book.
That's from a movie. The Captain Boomerang of our pod, the always angry JeffW the second.
Is he Australian? Crikey?
Let's hear it, Jeff. Let's hear the accent.
Nope.
That was your Australian crikey. That's it.
You got
It's all
yourself
I've
an Australian accent, do you? I don't know if that was Australian, actually.
This
It
is
might
my
have been
Alabama accent.
When you play a little bit more of Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, you're gonna be speaking Aussie, Jeff. Aussie.
Yo, you're gonna be speaking Aussie, Jeff. I throw a boomerang at the Flash. I got his finger. I got the Flash's finger. That's a spoiler.
Spoiler.
I got that spoiler.
And I'm Deadshot. Wait, aren't I supposed to be black?
Ooh. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, there's a whole thing in the game about. Well, we'll get to it. But this week we're talking Suicide Squad killed the Justice League.
Woo!
So thanks for joining us, everybody, especially if your name's Mark. Now, that was just a random name off the top of my head. Mark with a C, though. We're going to be talking all the latest and greatest video game news. The PlayStation State of Play happened, so we're going to talk about all that. We're recording on, what is this called? StreamYard for anybody watching. And so it's giving me all these options. Like I can do this or this or this or this or this. Really good for the audio listeners. So if you see the camera switching around, like maybe I want a solo on Jeff. Oh, perfect.
It's like he caught me in the nude.
That was the perfect.
It was like he caught me
timing.
in the nude.
This is why you gotta watch the video version of this podcast.
We hungry out here, fellas. Look at my camera's all messed up.
Anyway, I don't really know the controls yet.
Jeff with his pants down.
That was really good.
We hungry.
Can I screen share on this thing? I wonder.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'll figure that out. That must be picture
Nice.
picture layout, maybe. I don't know.
If you go,
Well, we'll
present
figure it
and then
out.
Share screen.
We'll figure it out. But it's gonna be an experience. It's gonna be a fun one because I'm gonna be touching all the buttons while we record, boys. So get ready for that. And one thing I know you're always ready for, everybody, is subscribing to the pod, liking the pod, sharing the pod. If you're following us on YouTube, give us a subscribe. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcatcher of choice, just give us a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, 5-star review, whatever it lets you do. Go ahead and do it because that's the only reason we do this is the validation, your validation. So we need it.
Dopamine.
Thank you very much. The dopamine hit. That's right. When the little number ticks up, little dopamine in my brain, and that's what I live for. So thank you, and thank you, Jeff, for always being DTF. That stands for Down to Talk Fun, right, Jeff?
You bet.
Okay, whoops, wrong button. That's the one. No, that's not it. There it is. All right.
Man.
Tell us what's been going on in video game news, Vactor.
Oh yeah. Well, we got a heavy PlayStation week this week, boys. No coincidence. I'm wearing a PlayStation shirt right now. But guess what? The State of Play for January 2024, everything that was in the State of Play is in this IGN article. So we're going to go down the list because I don't know what happened. Rob and Jeff watched it and I did not. So
Dang.
I'm finding out right now, just like you are, listener.
All right, let's add to the stage.
Yeah,
Good job. Good job, King Vactor. He took care of it for me, the screen sharing.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do it. All right. So I guess
Death
I'll
Stranding
go down the
2.
list.
Yeah, tell him, Rob.
All right. So I did watch it live as it was happening. I had to kick off Minecraft Let's Plays. I had to kick my son off the TV because that's his favorite thing now is watching people play Minecraft. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Death Stranding 2, titled Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. So this is another Death Stranding game, obviously, where a bunch of stuff looks like it doesn't make sense. My favorite part is masks that are also hands over your mouth like this. That's one thing I like. And making smoking look cool. Like the girl puts a cigarette in her mouth and then the mask hand lights it and then she comes and takes it out. Like, yeah.
That, and I need to find, there's a picture somebody posted Kojima. They were talking about that, how he is trying to make cigarettes look cool. There's a picture of him and what's the guy's name? Daryl from Walking Dead.
Daryl Hammond from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, let's just roll with that. And then the other guy, the villain from the first game, Mads Mikkelsen.
Yes.
And there's a picture of Kojima like fake smoking a cigarette, like in the picture where let's just say Kojima's fucking weird, but it is. I will find that photo.
I had a moment with this trailer because I knew it was Death Stranding almost immediately, and the whole thing's about 10 minutes long. And again, it doesn't make sense. I can't really tell you what the plot of the game's going to be based on this trailer, but it had little to do with walking from one place to another. So I'm curious how different this game's going to be to the first one. But Jeff knows the first game starts as a walking simulator and then takes a real hard turn about 2/3 into the game, and then turns into like Call of Duty survival horror wildness, and like that's the best I can do.
Yeah.
But before this trailer came out, earlier in the state of play, we'll talk about this when we go a little further down the list. There was a free Silent Hill game that was released. So when Death Stranding 2 was happening, around the end of the trailer, I was like, available now, come on. Available now, free, available now, free, available now, free. And then it goes 2025 across the screen. I went, fuck. And my wife laughed at me. She took a lot of pleasure in my pain. Are you hyped for Death Stranding 2, Jeff?
I think, yeah. I would like to see Kojima do something a little different with this game. I think I like Death Stranding, but I think it was a little bit of a. It's not like Metal Gear where I can recommend that game to everybody, and I know they're going to be like, back in the day, you would come out of that game and you'd be like, "This is an amazing experience," right? Death Stranding, I feel, is a little bit on the like weird side, especially with, the title being on the beach. Vactor, do you know the ending of Death Stranding 2 at all?
You talked about it at one point.
Do you know the infamous line though? Princess
did.
Beach.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that. Okay, yeah.
You talked about it. Yes.
Kind of funny that we're gonna just we're still on the beach thing, even though it was fucking weird from the first game. I am excited. I hope he does. I would like to see a Kojima move, Rob, like you said. Like I would like it to be different. Like he seems to be ballsy enough to change up the gameplay. So I would like to see something that is not just a rehash of what we've already done. I would like to see more weird elements, more weird genre switching in the middle of it. And even I thought it was interesting his appearance on the state of play overall. Because how many games does he have in development now? Right, like he has one for PS5 or PlayStation. He has one for Xbox, at least one. I think he might have two, right? For Xbox,
definitely one. I don't know if he has two for Xbox.
Because I thought there was a horror game, and I thought there was another game he was doing. And then he's got this. It just seems like Kojima has all these, his hands in all these pots, in all these different areas. I'm waiting for, I just want something to kind of hit on the same level that Metal Gear hit for me, which Death Stranding doesn't quite do. But I am happy that, he's getting the opportunities here to do weird shit. So I like to see this. I just want something a little more, don't make me do the package stuff. It's not it's not the funnest part of that game or the funnest thing ever. I'm not a huge fan of it.
It's a package simulator.
I really liked the walking back and forth element and seeing like, okay, how the heck am I even supposed to get from point A to point B, like on big hills or ladders, carrying like 100 packages on my back. And one thing I really liked about the first game was also the community aspect, where you could leave little hints for players, almost like Elden Ring or all these Souls-like games. Yeah. You could build roads, but if I didn't have enough material to build the roads, like other players would see what I built and would add onto it and help me build the roads. Like the community aspect of the game, I really liked and I thought was really fun. They'd leave like ladders for you and ropes, or you could leave ropes and you get little likes. Like every time you help somebody, you get a little thumbs up. And I'd log into the game and it'd be like, you got 200 thumbs up since the last time you signed on. And I'd be like, dopamine. Yes.
I think everybody played Death Stranding and you spam the like button on the first.
Oh, I gave people so many likes. If they gave me something that really helped me or something that made me laugh, like I was like, and Trent, there'd be random celebrities in it. Like Conan O'Brien was in it for some reason. Just Conan O'Brien showed up in the game, and he wasn't even being funny. He wasn't even doing the dance. He was just being Conan. But Death Stranding 2, all I got to do is stay alive till 2025 for Grand Theft Auto 6.
What did you think of the
Stranding 2.
guitar guy? That is weird, right?
Yeah, that was
like, what the fuck is this?
There was a guitar weapon in it. A lot like what's that game Jack Black did? I forget.
Oh, Brutal Legend.
Brutal Legend. A lot like Brutal Legend.
Yeah.
Except way less cool. I guess.
Yeah, the only way, I guess Vactor didn't watch, so the only way we can describe it is like there's this good scene and it's like Jared Leto, The Crow, and a guitar player for Guns N' Roses, like mixture character who just, you know, that's his weapon. So he's literally like in the cutscene is like, you know, doing the strumming, and like it's again just let Kojima do weird shit. I do like that, even though it's weird, I do like it.
Yes. Hideo Kojima also is making a new action espionage game, it says. You don't really have much more information than that, but it does say it will attempt to blur the line between video games and film. Ooh, Jeff. Ooh.
Which, you know, I mean, if you guys go, I mean, you could probably like find I'm sure there's a Watch Mojo top 10 of this somewhere, but I mean, Metal Gear is, I mean, the entire thing is just full of action reference. I mean, even like you know, Metal Gear 2 is like the opening to Terminator. You know, he lands on the ship. He has the lightning, you know, going around him. I mean, there is a ton of those references. So, I mean, honestly, if you were to describe Metal Gear, like that's what it would be: action, espionage, inspired by, you know, movies, blurring the lines between the movies.
Blurred
so hopefully
lines.
I would like to see something from them. I would like to see Konami do something, you know, legitimate with Metal Gear since they own it. But yeah, this is very interesting. This and the horror, I think it's a horror game for Xbox, right? Him and Jordan Peele. I think that's the Xbox one.
Oh yeah.
So that, I think I'm looking forward to both equally. This one might have me a little more intrigued because this might be along the lines of Metal Gear, but at the same time, I've played that, so I think it's interesting, but we just don't know anything about it yet.
All right. So I moved my show notes to the wrong monitor, so that's why I'm looking way over there. Whoops. My bad, everybody. I'm still working on this StreamYard, and it says I can share my screen, but anyway, let's move on. Team Ninja's Rise of the Ronin, Jeff, was also something that was shown. Now, this game looks pretty sweet, if you ask me. Another roguelike, or excuse me, not roguelike, Souls-like type game. I'm not super familiar with Team Ninja's work. I don't know if I've ever played a Team Ninja game off the top.
Were they doing Ninja Gaiden?
Yeah.
Did they do Ninja Gaiden?
Mm-hmm.
That's not one I played either.
Those are motherfuckers.
What? You played it at Hollywood Video. I remember it. I remember that.
Well, it didn't make much of an impact on me then.
That was a great game.
Shut up.
Wow. Exposed.
Hollywood
That was
Video.
a
What's
great
that?
Rob's lies about his video game experience. Wow.
Well, you're the one lying, Jeff. Just because I don't know how to work SteamYard, don't be mean to me.
You know what's funny is if you would tell me like what other developer would copy a FromSoft game, I would think of Team Ninja. I would think of Ninja Gaiden and be like, those games are fucking brutal, you know. So this only makes sense, and obviously we knew about it before, but yeah, I'm excited for this one.
The gameplay where he's running on the roofs, like when he's rappelling up there and then running across roofs, that is very heavily inspired by Tenchu. That was a game on PlayStation that I played over and over again, and it was actually one that a bunch of people in Japan, can you believe it, were playing over at the youth center where all the kids would gather. That's what we would play. We would be eating fried rice and playing Tenchu, boys. It was great.
Look at this game. It looks good. It looks like Breath of the Wild, but ninjas.
Yeah.
Team Ninjas, that is. Hey, good news. I figured out how
onto
to
a horse.
So that's going to be one that we're playing on this. So just get ready for that.
I'll be getting that for sure.
Yeah, I'll be checking this out as well. Not
Let's
far.
see.
It's March, right?
Yeah, it's coming out soon.
Yeah,
It's
March
coming out
22nd.
soon.
Yep.
Until Dawn is getting a remaster coming to PlayStation 4, or excuse me, PlayStation 5 this year, and PC for my boys. Stellar Blade got a deep dive. Capcom shares another Dragon Dogma 2 trailer. Now, this one just sort of popped up out of nowhere, boys. Dragon Dogma is, I think, speaking my language.
That also comes out March 22nd.
Oh, what am I gonna do?
Oh,
My
Jesus
money.
Christ.
My money.
And think about that though. If you want to get both, what's this is probably going to be $75 a piece. You're going to have to spend $150 if you want both those games.
Well,
Getting
that's just how it goes.
expensive.
That's what, when you clear 180K a year, Jeff, it's easy to do that. Okay? That's
That's
not
true.
how much- that's an inside joke, everybody. I'm not telling everybody how much I make. It's an inside joke.
Ah!
Just to say, look at him. Hold
He's
on.
rich. Yeah.
Hold on. Oh no!
This
I
looks.
took Jeff off. There he is.
Well, catch me like
You
that.
can tell I
again.
don't know what I'm doing with these
Good.
controls. Everything's like the video's going all over the place right now. Sonic X Shadow Generations announced. So Sega revealed Sonic X Shadow Generations, like I said. An enhanced remaster of Sonic Generations with new content featuring everybody's favorite Shadow the Hedgehog. I know Trent is hyped for this.
This looks like that Dreamcast version of Sonic that everybody was going crazy over on the Dreamcast. Remember, Rob?
Barely. Not really. Silent Hill, the short message came out for free. It was a shadow drop, a short Silent Hill game. This I downloaded, but I haven't gotten to playing it yet. I might play it tonight, actually, but I see in the show notes Vactor played it. So we'll talk about that at the end of the show if we have enough time. Judas looks really good to me. By the creator of BioShock, first-person action game.
Oh,
Did either of you guys get a look at this?
Yeah, actually, it looked so similar. I thought this was. I mean, it is from Ken Levine, like it is all this stuff which we've been waiting for his game for quite some time. I think he's went through multiple cancellations and coming backs and whatever. Yeah, I mean, I so much so I thought this was at first I was like, oh, is this one of those watchtowers at the end of BioShock Infinite? Like, are we going back in? It looked very, very similar.
It looks sweet to me. I got it planned just for you guys.
Right I will be playing this more than likely when this comes out. This is right up my alley.
What about you, Vactor? Did you see this? Did you see this game? Do you even like BioShock?
It looks exactly like BioShock.
It's exactly the same game. Look at all those splicers. Look at them just splice it up. Look at all those little sisters. I think it's gonna be a good one, boys. It's gonna be a real
in space.
In space, V Rising is coming to PlayStation 5.
That's Jeff's game.
Dave the Diver. Dave the Diver is coming to PlayStation with Godzilla. Everybody. Zenless Zone Zero. We don't know what that is. Metro Awakening is coming to VR.
Whatever that is. Oh, real quick, Vactor needs to watch he should watch Dave the Diver trailer. I think this will be. It's about a sushi thing and Godzilla's in it. He should check that out at some point. But
yeah, do you like sushi, Vector?
Oh, he does.
Looks good.
I was gonna say he looks like he's taken by the thought of Zenless Zone Zero, which is this anime girl game. I think that
looks good too.
I knew it.
Both
Metro Awakening is coming to VR along with Legendary Tales coming to VR. Let's see what else. Helldivers 2, and then there was also a Silent Hill 2 remake trailer. So that was pretty much the long and short of it.
Yeah.
And
they announced the Kojima movie, I guess, is also in there too.
Yes, the biopic of Kojima starring the guy from Loki, Obi. The guy who played Obi. That's Kojima.
Ki Hui Kwan.
Short round.
Yeah.
No time for
Sure.
love, Asian, or something like that. So outside of what we mentioned specifically, are there any major standouts for either of you?
Not, Death Stranding 2. I think we've been waiting on that. We all knew it was coming. Plenty had leaked out, so that's I'm looking forward to that. The VR stuff I immediately zoned out on, and yeah, Rob, the Judas game, whatever is it just called Judas? Isn't it something else? I forget.
I think
like
it's
the
just
full
Judas.
title.
Let's scroll back down
Um,
to it. Let's make
Oh
it.
yeah. I guess it is just called Judas.
Yep, just Judas.
Those two are my most probably anticipated. Those other ones we mentioned that come out in March, I definitely want to try out and see if it's up my alley. But those two I will almost assuredly be playing.
Excellent. Okay, so now let's move on to the next story, and I'll let Vactor take over this one for real this time.
There's a rumor that a new PlayStation handheld is in development, boys. Another one. Because remember the PSP? Remember the PS Vita?
Barely.
Sony's great track record for making handheld games is going to come to a new peak. This is according to a new rumor. They're working on this brand new handheld. We don't have any specifics on it, but it's supposed to be giving you it's kind of like that. If we can get the Steam Deck, or if we can get like the Asus, the RGV, the Republic of Gamers, if we can get those type of handhelds on a PlayStation, if we get a PlayStation up and running, then we're gonna be in business, boys.
Let's go. I don't see why it can't be done. I mean, you've got your Steam Decks, your Asuses or whatever. Why can't modern console makers make these things? I guess maybe it would cannibalize the sales of the console itself, right? I mean, Nintendo Switch does it already. There's also rumors that came out today. It's not in the show notes, but that Xbox is considering the same thing, making a handheld. But like, imagine if you could download, or you could buy Spider-Man and it just goes to either the console or your handheld.
Right.
That would be okay. But I mean, I just don't know. I like the idea of it, but I just don't know how practical it actually would be.
Yeah. And to me, the Sony handhelds previously were all, I wouldn't say bad products.
Wow, Jeff.
But I would say that they have not been particularly great, in my opinion. The games weren't there. I think, you need to have, I don't see a world where you could split those games like that anymore, right? Because if you remember, they had all of those PSP versions of the other games, or they'd have like a little spin-off and whatnot. And I just don't see a world where like you could make that happen. So you have to be able to run God of War, all your typical Sony titles on it. And I just don't know if I trust the Japanese developers to to make a handheld that is gonna like do what the Steam Deck does, I mean, they could, but even Nintendo, I mean, they've made that move. They've made the correct move in putting it all in one, right? Like Rob said, they won't cannibalize the other console. They made it one. But I don't know what Sony can do that wouldn't do that for them, right, at this point, unless you come out with PS5.5 and it somehow docks. I mean, but at that point, you're sacrificing some power, whether you like it or not. I just don't see Sony having like a great, I don't know what, I mean, I would like to see it, but I just don't see them having some brand new idea that is very worthy of making a handheld.
Right.
I mean, I'd like to see what they do. I don't trust them.
Well, either way, if it comes out, I'm gonna buy it.
Did you guys have PSPs at all?
Yes.
No, it wasn't something I ever had. You had a
Yeah.
PSP Vector?
Mhm.
Well, remember
Oh,
the one that
yeah.
like slid, like it was like a sidekick almost. Like that
I
thing
didn't
was
have
like
that. Yeah.
goofy. Like they were all kind of goofy, and they used discs. You know, they like never quite got
It was
modern. Like even
UMD or something.
Yeah,
Oh
Universal.
yeah,
yeah.
that's
Disc
right.
or
UMD.
something.
yeah. So
Yeah.
like they never quite
'Cause
got
we
as like
sold those at Hollywood or at Game Crazy. We sold those.
yeah. They just never quite hit it to where it should have been. Like, you know, the carts were perfect for Nintendo stuff. And I mean, now digital is obviously the best. And I think actually one of those PSPs might be digital only. So it might be a total piece of shit now because you probably can't play anything on it. But I don't know. I feel like they never quite hit that mark, you know, like some of these companies I don't think can hit certain markets, and I don't think Sony's gonna be able to. Like even the Rob, I don't have you used the what's that screen that you use for the PlayStation? The
my
handheld
PlayStation
screen thing?
Portal. It's right over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, right there. Like, have you used it very much? Like, I mean, I don't know.
On
Like,
occasion, but not only because or I haven't used it a lot, but I'm not.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the quality of the product itself. I just knocked over my Ninja Turtle.
Ooh.
Has nothing to do with the quality of the thing itself. It's just there's not a lot of
Yeah.
games I'm playing on PlayStation right now.
Yeah, because you figure whatever they put out is probably gonna have to look like that, but bigger, right?
Right.
Like, there's no way they could put out something that doesn't look like a PlayStation 5. So they're gonna have to give it that control. I just don't know how they do it, you know. To me, yeah, it just seems too weird to me to jump into that arena now, unless you do something like Switch, like that incorporates the console itself.
That one that slid was a PSP Go, by the way.
Yes. It looked like Cartman.
Oh,
Two circles. Yeah.
little Cartman. So I guess it remains to be seen if this rumor will ever come true, but in the meantime, we'll start saving our money now after we all buy our Apple Vision Pros. Ooh, am I right, boys? I am right. Okay, so that's going to do it for video game news this week. Now it's time to talk the new hotness. We've all been playing, and by we all, I mean two of us, have been playing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. We made it through this whole podcast factor without saying, "Was this some sort of Suicide Squad?" We forgot to say that.
Oh man!
So Suicide Squad.
Mark said it in the chat earlier.
What? Hold on, let me just highlight this awesome comment. He did that.
All right.
Excellent. Let me just leave it on. I'm not even going to remove it. All right, I'll remove it. Say what? So this is the long-awaited, long-delayed game from Rocksteady Studios. Of
Yeah, we were
course,
supposed to get this last year originally.
All the Arkham games. This was supposed to be out last year, and then they did a big trailer for it in a state of play, if I remember correctly, and tried to get everybody hyped up on it, and it went the opposite direction that they were intending it to go. People were not thrilled that it looks like you're just jumping on buildings and aimlessly killing aliens and shooting at every purple thing you see. And then Rocksteady said, okay, hold on. You know what? We're going to take it back. We're going to work on it. Give us a little bit of time. It's coming out in a year. I don't think it was a whole year delay, but it was almost a whole year. And we said, wow, they're really going to go ahead and delay it that much. They really must be retooling the game. And it came out, Jeff, and to me, it looks like the exact same game we were shown. So I don't really know what to make of that. But you know what? I'm going to give it to Vactor because he, just like me, well, and you, Jeff, but him more so, is a Batman fan. And we know he loved all the Arkham games. So tell us your initial thoughts. How long you've been playing it? Just give us a quick overview, Vactor.
Boys, you know, it just pains me to say this, but we got a Game of the Year contender in January 2024. We got a new one.
He's lying.
We got one. Cue the Ghostbusters. We got one.
He's lying to us. He's
This
lying to
game
us.
He's fooling.
is so good. I had to scream it from the rooftops, boys. I've been playing this game all week long. It's the only thing that I'm thinking about. This is that thing that Rob loves, that he craves with every game that comes out, to be the type of game that as soon as you turn it off, you are thinking about it. You want to get back to it every time you have free moment to spare. You want to spend it in that game. And that's what Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is for me right now, boys. I am feverishly playing this, trying to complete the story because I don't want to get spoiled, but I am loving it. And I think everything Rob said is true. It feels exactly like what they had originally announced. And to me, that's a good thing because it's equal parts Crackdown, equal parts The Division, equal parts Destiny, all of those things. But in a superhero package, in a Batman package, and I am loving it. Woo!
Oh my god! How far into the game are you? Like, if you like, minor spoilers for Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. Let's just put that out there right now. Neither of us have beaten the game, but we might talk some story beats. Okay. That being said, how far into the story are you?
I just got to Lex Luthor, so I'm not sure exactly how
Okay.
far that is.
Okay, so
15 minutes.
I am also at the Lex Luthor part, and I am about 6 hours into the game.
Okay.
So depending on how fast you play, I would say you're roughly around there too. But me personally, I've spent about 6 hours in the game. So I don't want to say I have the opposite reaction to this game as Trent, but I'm torn.
Uh-oh.
I'm torn about this game. So
Don't you lie to me.
I really like some parts of it, and I really don't like other parts of it. And this is the first time where I feel really torn about a game like this in a long time.
What?
And so let me explain. I am enjoying the story. The story's good. I like the continuation of the Arkham universe. I like how it explains, okay, you thought Batman was dead? Well, guess what? This is what happened. Superman came to him and was like, you want to join the Justice League? Oh, okay. And then now Batman's back, baby, after faking his death. I like that. Oh, and there's a part where Batman also calls the members of the Justice League his friends, and I was like, that seems interesting. Batman's got friends, and hang out with my friends at the Justice League.
The super friends.
I like, anyway, that's neither here nor there, though. I like the story. I like the characterizations. I like Harley is the same Harley that we've seen before. King Shark is a lot like Drax to me, and in the Marvel movies. I'm not familiar with King Shark on the page, so I don't know how accurate that is or isn't. But this character is giving me Drax the Destroyer, but not the stupid Drax, the first Drax we saw in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes. Captain Boomerang. Oh, that's my Australian accent. Oh, you guys like it? Anyway, nice. Captain Boomerang and Deadshot. I like the voice acting. I like the dialogue. I like the writing. Everything.
Game of the year.
I like the looks of the characters. The graphical design. I like it all. Okay. On the other side of the coin, I don't like the gameplay.
What?
I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the game is. It does have Crackdown vibes. I'm actually thinking that. I've been mainly maining King Shark. But here's what I don't like about the game. Now, I don't want to compare it to Arkham because it's not a Batman game, so I can't say, why doesn't it have the same sort of fighting or anything like that. It's a different game, but it doesn't. The fluidity of the fighting in the Arkham games versus what you're doing here is not the same thing. You have your main character, whichever one you pick, and you get 2 guns, right? So you get like your heavy weapon and maybe a lighter weapon, or you can swap them out later. Maybe grenades, and then you have a melee attack, and then your mode of travel. Like King Shark does big jumps. Harley Quinn does like grappling like Batman. Captain Boomerang is in the Speed Force for some reason. And then what is Deathshot? Deathshot.
He has a jetpack.
Yeah, it's a jetpack. That's all fine, but the gameplay is go here and defend this spot for 10 minutes. Great. Go here.
Mm-hmm.
Defend the spot for 10 minutes. Great. Or go
And
here.
that's what I was
collect 3 things.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying about the Destiny comparison. It's Destiny gameplay. Like they took that out of Destiny, they put it into this game. So if you're not a fan
Destiny,
of,
so I couldn't make that connection.
if you're not a fan of that type of gameplay, then you're not going to like this game.
Now there are certain. The gameplay gets a little better the further you go into the game, Jeff. Meaning, so you can upgrade your character. Things they can do in the game. The further you go, you get more abilities. Like I got an I don't know if you're at this part, Vactor, but I got an ice dagger, so I can freeze everybody with King Shark.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's things you think you would be able to do automatically. Like at the beginning of the game when I'm running around as King Shark, I said to myself, why isn't King Shark grabbing these guys and throwing them around and throwing them on the ground? He's just running around with his Uzis, his machine gun. Eventually, Jeff, you unlock the ability to start grabbing people and throw them all over the place, which is what I think it should have been at the start. And you get that with everybody. Everybody has their unique ways, but the mission variety is so boring to me that I'm playing the same missions over and over again. And I find myself looking at the map going, I don't want to do this mission. I don't want to do this mission because I can see it says defend this place. Only grenades are going to do any damage. Defend this place. Only melee is going to do damage. Defend this place. Only air attacks are going to do damage. And like I don't want to do that stuff. I just don't want to do it. Like I want cool story missions like the Arkham games, where it's a little more linear and it's funneling me to where I'm going, or like the Spider-Man games. And I know that's not what this is, but like I said, I haven't felt this way in a long time. I'm bored playing the game, but when the story happens, I'm like, oh, let's go, baby. All right, let's see what's going on, because it's funny. The game's funny, man.
Yeah, and watching your TikTok live, Rob, like the cutscenes look great. I think I was in your chat talking about it. I'm like, the animation looks like really, really good here, and I like Samoa Joe as King Shark. Like you're right. Like when you're getting that moment, I'm like, this is what made me want to buy it this morning, was watching you and seeing those cutscenes. Is really was the main attraction for me.
Right.
We haven't watched Twisted Metal yet, but Samoa Joe plays Sweet Tooth in that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I can see why from listening to him in this game, I could see why they would cast him. Like he's a better actor than I thought. Like I didn't know any of his acting ability, but him playing King Shark in this is great. And you said it. I think this takes a lot of cues from James Gunn's Suicide Squad and also his Guardians of the Galaxy. That type of humor, they're going for that type of like R-rated comedy. And King Shark in the comics is super intelligent, so he's not like this. This is just a different version of him. But Drax wasn't like that. Drax in the comics is not like the Batista version of Drax. So I can forgive that. Like this is just a different version of King Shark, and it's a different version of King Shark than the Sylvester Stallone, and that like he's just a big brute like Hulk,
or even the Harley Quinn animated show where it's who plays King Shark on that?
Oh, so that's dang it, I could see his face. The black comedian.
Hannibal? No, not Hannibal.
No, not
Ron Funches. It's Ron Funches.
Yes,
Ron
right?
yes,
Funches.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Which
Like-
it's funny you bring that up because my wife, I was talking to her about the game, and I said this Harley kind of feels dated to me because it is the Arkham Harley, like you were saying, and
Mhm.
we've been watching the animated Harley for like 6 seasons now, and that Kaylee Cuoco version is now like my default Harley in my mind. So going back to this version, it's like, oh dang, this is I forgot this is what Harley used to be like, but I like all of the interpretations, even the Deadshot. The version is kind of like a Will Smith, but he's kind of like they do that fourth wall break of, hey, aren't you supposed to be white? Because he's always been white in the comics until that Will Smith version. So I like a lot of the writing, I like a lot of the humor, and this is what I love. As I've talked about it many times on here, the story for me is my favorite part of games. And so this story has got me. I want to see what's going to happen next. That's another reason why I keep going back because I'm like, oh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next?
Right. And so I'm probably going to keep playing it. I don't think I'm going to stop playing it. I don't think I'm going to stream it anymore. I don't think it's an interesting game to watch when it's not story driven. But like I said, it's something that I just haven't felt this way about a video game in a long time. Usually for me, it's pretty black and white. Like I like the game or I don't like the game, and I can make my decision. Yeah, I'm just going to stop playing it. Like this one, I feel compelled to keep playing it, even though I'm not enjoying the gameplay that much. Now I'm optimistic that with the character upgrades, I can boost the stats of my characters and maybe they play a little more fluidly. But again, some of the missions, like there was a mission I did where I was working with the Penguin and I had to go get his henchmen that were trapped by aliens, and I had to get 5 of them. But it took 10 minutes in between each person being available for me to get them to rescue them. So I'm just fighting waves of aliens over and over again. But meanwhile, the mission I did just before that was me doing the same thing for Rick Flag's henchmen. And I was finding all of Rick Flag's people and doing the exact same mission. So if the missions are super repetitive, it's going to be harder for me to keep playing it. But I am going to keep playing it based on this. The only other gripe I have with it, and this might be just a me thing, is that each character plays very differently in terms of their controls and their traversal. And so it makes it tough for me to want to switch between characters because certain missions say, hey, play it as Harley and you're going to get more XP, or play it as King Shark and you'll get different specialized loot when you beat the game or when you beat this mission.
And
but
have you run into the microtransactions?
I haven't seen any microtransactions.
Okay.
No.
But I haven't been really looking for them either.
Yeah.
That was what they were saying that they were taking out. Remember, that was the big backlash when that news first dropped. Everybody's like, what? That's not what I wanted. So I think that's what, when they delayed it, I think that's what they were taking out.
Yeah. They'll put it back in.
Oh, I'm sure they will. They got to make that money. But the like I said, if you're a fan, this is coming from a casual DC fan. I'm sure Vactor can double what I'm saying though. Is if you're a fan of the Arkhamverse, the story and seeing a continuation of it, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. And yeah, he's got a Superman shirt. I don't think you're going to be disappointed in the story or the acting or the setups or the characterizations or anything like that. You just got to be able to make it through the gameplay. And Trent likes it. So,
And
it's
this, I think, is going to be Jeff's bread and butter right here. This is his cup of tea because it's the Arkham story and Destiny gameplay. Those are two things that Jeff likes. Those are peanut butter and chocolate for Jeff. So this game is Reese's peanut butter.
We'll see about that. He just invoked my favorite candy for that,
which I had earlier today. Did you boys know there's a Reese's peanut butter cup that has the Reese's cereal inside of it? I had that today, and it was.
Yeah, it's all right.
One last thing
my favorite
I want to
cereal.
say is that this game might as well not be open world also. because
really?
you're in an open world metropolis, but there's little, at least so far, little to no exploration, little to no utilization of an open world setting. It's just a big battle arena. You're going to over here and you're fighting a bunch of aliens, and you're going over to this building and you're fighting a bunch of aliens. There's like, you're not going into buildings outside of like the Hall of Justice or little like set piece buildings. I don't know why it's a quote unquote open world game, because it does not feel like an open world game to me. But again, that's just my take. But that's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, available now. Everybody might be in the discount bin soon, so depending on how much you want to spend, and just use your best judgment. Real
Game
quick,
of the Year edition coming soon.
we're almost at our time limit, but I do want to hear what Trent has to say about Silent Hill: The Short Message.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big fan of the original Silent Hill back in the day, and I gotta say, this new game is boring. This is not
What?
the type of game that I like to play. And I was playing it, and I was like, man, I wish I could be playing Suicide Squad right now. And I was just pushing through it to get through it, but it was just the same old, same old. Oh, there's a dead body there. The whole thing is a suicide simulator. It's all about suicide. So
What?
I'm playing this and the Suicide Squad and this game. I got a lot of suicide. I sent you that, that picture I sent you on Discord of the hey, this game is over. It was a suicide prevention message. It was like, don't kill yourself, kids. This is not the thing to do.
Man.
So did you?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, good. Good. Just making sure.
But
so what is the gameplay? Like, what is even the gameplay? Like,
it's like Resident Evil. You're running around first person. All right, this door, something's going to jump out at me. My controller's going to vibrate here. This is the game you should be streaming, Rob. This is the type of game that you stream, and people don't go down that door. Don't go down that hallway. And there's cockroaches on the ground, and that scene right there is her cutting her wrist, and then she's getting text messages from her friend who killed herself. This is the gameplay right here. You're walking around with your phone with your light on,
like
and your text
survival
messages.
horror. Like, are there people after you? Do you like combat, or is it just get from point A to point B?
It's just point A to point B. There's
not really any.
There's no buttons. There's literally the only button is look behind you to see if that is chasing you. The thing that they just showed. That's the whole game is just walking around. All right, that was a picture, one way, and then I turned around. Oh, now it's a different picture. When I turn back, this is the Rob game right here. This is the Rob simulator.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I did actually download it with the intent of streaming it, but I haven't played it yet.
Good time on that.
Well, maybe I will.
Not my cup of tea, boys. Back to Suicide Squad. The only suicide I need is a squad.
It's a squad suicide. Last question.
In the garage.
Just on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the scariest game you've ever played, where would you rank it?
This would be about a 6.
All right. Well, maybe it'll be on my playlist for next week, boys. Just maybe. But that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Sandbox Gamers podcast. Now, don't leave yet, because we got some stuff to tell you about. Did you know Vactor not only has one YouTube page, but he has 2? Tell us about them.
Oh, yeah. So previously I was the Vactorverse, and where I was talking about superheroes and Star Wars. And I said, you know what? Let me branch off. So now the Vactorverse is going to be my Star Wars channel. I'm not deleting all the stuff that was on there previously. So you're going to still see some superhero stuff on there. But mainly we're going to have Star Wars related content, whether it's short biographies, whether it's talking about comic books, Star Wars. We have Bad Batch coming up, so we're going to be talking about Bad Batch. All of those things are going to be in the Vactorverse. And then over on my comic book channel, which right now is called Vactor's Comic Verse, I'm not sold on that name, so I may change that. But at the moment, it's called Vactor's Comic Verse, and that's where you're going to have all the comic book content. So you're going to have the same shorts. We're going to have the same comic book reviews and all the stuff that's in the superhero side of the Vactorverse is going to be over there. But we're going to have some fun, boys. We're going to see Nightwing's butt. We're going to see everything over in the Vactor's Comic Verse.
You saw I stopped it on that Nightwing butt video. I was like, all right, for the boys, get a little cheeks action in there.
My new favorite thing is anytime I put a picture of a booty, there's a comment. There's at least 3 people who go, "Yacht! That is some yacht! GYAT! Yacht!"
I love it.
They feel my
I love
butts.
it. Yeah, I only just learned what that meant the other day. Won't you be my Sigma? I heard that song that kids are singing these days. Skibbity. I learned all the references. All right. Well, thank you. So be sure to check out the Vactorverse Star Wars channel and the comic book channel. Links in the show notes. Like we mentioned shortly ago, I'm streaming games on my TikTok page every Friday and Saturday night, sometimes beyond. But you can find that at tiktok.com/@WonderRob, or just search WonderRob on TikTok. Plus all the Sandbox Gamers content is on there too. And you can find Sandbox Gamers pretty much everywhere. All the usual suspects: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Follow the link tree in the show notes and you can find all those links. We're going to be back at you next week with another game, another set of news stories, and our sparkling personalities. So
And more